You wake up, you look in the mirror, and you see someone you barely recognize anymore. Not because you changed too much, but because you have not changed at all. The same tired eyes, the same defeated posture, the same version of yourself that you promised last year you would leave behind. And the worst part, you are not even shocked anymore. You have become comfortable being the person you swore you would never settle for being. But here is what nobody tells you about that moment. That moment of brutal self-recognition is not your breaking point. It is your awakening. Because somewhere inside you, beneath all the excuses and all the wasted potential, there is a version of yourself so powerful, so disciplined, so utterly transformed that the person staring back at you in that mirror right now would not even recognize him. The question is not whether he exists. The question is whether you have the courage to become him. Let me tell you what is really happening right now in your life, and I want you to be honest with yourself as I say this. You have dreams, real ones, the kind that used to keep you up at night with excitement, the kind that made you feel alive just thinking about them. But somewhere along the way, those dreams started feeling more like fantasies. Then they became wishes. Then they became things you would think about occasionally with a bitter taste in your mouth. And now they are just reminders of who you are not. You scroll through social media and you see people becoming exactly who they said they would become. You see people transforming their bodies, building their businesses, mastering their crafts, living the lives that you once imagined for yourself. And what do you feel? If you are honest, really honest, you feel a mix of inspiration and resentment. You double tap their posts. You leave supportive comments. But deep down, a voice whispers something you hate to admit. Why them and not me? What do they have that I do not have? Here is the truth that cuts deeper than any motivational speech you have ever heard. They do not have anything you do not have. They simply decided to become someone different. And you keep choosing to stay the same. Every single morning you wake up with two versions of yourself standing in front of you. One version hits snooze, scrolls on his phone for 30 minutes, complains about being tired, makes excuses about why today is not the right day to start. The other version gets up immediately, attacks the day with intention, does the hard things first, builds momentum with every decision. Every single morning you choose. And if you are honest about where you are right now, you know which version you have been choosing. The problem is not that you are lazy. The problem is not that you lack potential. The problem is that you have built an entire identity around being someone who tries and fails, someone who starts and stops, someone who has potential but never actualizes it. You have become so comfortable with the story of being the underdog, the struggler, the person who will succeed someday, that you have forgotten how to actually be the person who succeeds today. Think about the last 30 days of your life. How many times did you say you were going to do something and then did not do it? How many times did you set an alarm with genuine intention, only to negotiate with yourself the moment it went off? How many times did you plan to work out, to study, to build your business, to practice your craft, only to choose the easier path? And here is the part that should terrify you. Each time you made that choice, you were not just choosing comfort over growth. You were choosing to be the same person tomorrow that you are today. Your potential is not the problem. You know you are capable of more. Everyone around you knows you are capable of more. That is what makes this so painful. You are not someone who lacks talent or intelligence or opportunity. You are someone who has everything required to transform your life but keeps choosing not to use it. And every day that you make that choice, the gap between who you are and who you could be grows wider. The person you want to become, let me tell you about him. He wakes up before his alarm. He does not negotiate with himself. When he says he is going to do something, it is already done in his mind. The physical action is just a formality. He does not need motivation because he has built systems. He does not rely on feeling inspired because he has developed discipline. He does not make excuses because he has eliminated the option of failure from his vocabulary. He is not perfect, but he is consistent. He is not superhuman, but he is relentless. And the most important thing about him, he used to be exactly where you are right now. But here is where most people get it wrong. They think the gap between who they are and who they want to be is about making one big change. They think they need to completely overhaul their life in a single day. They think transformation happens through some massive moment of inspiration. So they wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect circumstances. And while they wait, years pass. Literally years of their life pass by while they wait for the right moment to become who they are supposed to be. The truth about transformation is that it is built in the moments you do not feel like building it. It is built when you are tired. It is built when you are unmotivated. It is built when every part of you wants to quit and go back to being comfortable. That is when real change happens. Not when you feel inspired, not when you feel ready, but when you feel resistant and you do it anyway. Right now you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same. More mornings where you disappoint yourself. More nights where you lie in bed knowing you wasted another day. More years of looking at other people living your dreams while you stay frozen in place. That path is easy. That path is comfortable. That path is familiar. And that path leads to a life of quiet regret. The other path? That path is brutal. That path requires you to become someone you have never been before. That path demands that you kill the old version of yourself and build someone new from the ground up. That path has no shortcuts, no hacks, no easy wins. But that path leads to the person you see when you close your eyes and imagine the best version of yourself. So how do you actually become him? How do you go from being the person who talks about change to being the person who embodies it? Let me break down the exact framework that separates people who transform from people who stay stuck. Phase 1, the death of your old identity. Before you can become who you want to be, you have to kill who you currently are. This is not metaphorical. This is literal. The version of yourself that sleeps in, that makes excuses, that chooses comfort over growth. That version has to die, and you have to be the one to kill it. Start by looking at your current identity with complete honesty. Who are you right now? Not who you want to be, not who you pretend to be. Who are you actually? Write it down. Every habit, every pattern, every excuse you make, every way you sabotage yourself. Get it all on paper. This is your old self. This is who you are leaving behind. Now understand this. Your old self will fight for survival. It will give you every reason why change is too hard, why you should wait, why you are not ready. It will disguise itself as reason and logic. It will tell you that being realistic is more important than being ambitious. It will remind you of every time you failed before. This is the resistance, and the only way through it is to recognize it for what it is, a scared version of yourself that knows it is about to be replaced. Phase 2, design your new identity. Who is the person you are becoming? Get specific, not just goals, identity. What does he do every single day? How does he think? How does he respond to challenges? What are his non-negotiables? What does his morning look like? What does he do when he does not feel motivated? The person you are becoming is not just a more successful version of your current self. He is fundamentally different. He operates from different principles. He has different standards. He has different expectations of himself. Design him completely. Make him so real in your mind that you can see him, hear him, feel what it is like to be him. Here is what this looks like in practice. Your new identity wakes up at 5 in the morning, not because he is a morning person, but because he decided that is what he does. Your new identity trains his body 6 days a week, not because he loves working out every single time, but because physical discipline builds mental discipline. Your new identity reads for an hour every day, not because he is trying to impress anyone, but because he is obsessed with becoming better. Your new identity does not negotiate with himself. When he sets a standard, he meets it, period. Write this identity down in present tense. Not I will be, not I want to be. I am. I am someone who wakes up at 5 in the morning. I am someone who never misses a workout. I am someone who keeps his word to himself. This is not fake it until you make it. This is deciding who you are and then proving it to yourself through action. Phase 3, the 72-hour rule. Here is where most people fail. They get inspired. They design their new identity. They make all these plans. And then they wake up the next morning and gradually slide back into their old patterns. Why? Because they tried to change everything at once and overwhelm themselves into quitting. The 72-hour rule is simple. You have 72 hours from this moment to prove to yourself that you are serious, not 72 hours to transform your entire life. 72 hours to do 3 things that your old self would not do. 3 actions that are proof you are becoming someone different. What are those 3 things? You decide, but make them specific. Make them measurable. Make them uncomfortable. Maybe it is waking up at 5 in the morning for 3 days straight. Maybe it is going to the gym 3 times when you have not gone in months. Maybe it is working on your business for 2 hours each day when you have been procrastinating for weeks. Whatever it is, it has to be hard enough that your old self would give up. Why 72 hours? Because that is long enough to build an initial momentum, but short enough that you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot tell yourself you will start next week. You cannot make excuses about not being ready. 72 hours from now, you will either have proof that you are changing or proof that you are still the same person. Phase 4, the compound identity system. Once you survive those first 72 hours, you enter the most critical phase. This is where transformation becomes permanent. This is where you build systems that make your new identity inevitable. Every single day you are going to do what I call identity stacking. You are going to take small actions that prove to yourself who you are becoming. Not huge actions, not life-changing moments. Small, consistent proof. You wake up when your alarm goes off. That is proof. You work out even though you are tired. That is proof. You do the hard work before you check social media. That is proof. You keep your word to yourself about the small things. That is proof. Every single one of these moments is you building evidence that you are no longer who you used to be. Here is what people do not understand about discipline. Discipline is not about willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. You run out of willpower. Discipline is about building an identity that does not require willpower because it is just who you are. The person you are becoming does not need motivation to work out. He works out because that is what he does. He does not need inspiration to work on his goals. He works on his goals because that is who he is. Build your day around identity proof. Morning routine that proves you are disciplined. Work sessions that prove you are focused. Evening routine that proves you are intentional. Every part of your day becomes evidence of your transformation. Phase 5, the pressure principle. Here is something nobody tells you about becoming great. You do not become great in comfort. You become great under pressure. You need to deliberately put yourself in situations that force you to become the person you are trying to be. Sign up for that competition. Commit to that deadline. Tell people about your goals so you have accountability. Put money on the line. Create consequences for failure. Make backing out more painful than pushing forward. The person you are becoming is forged under pressure. When things get hard, when you want to quit, when every part of you wants to go back to being comfortable, that is when your new identity is being built. Those moments of extreme discomfort are not obstacles to your transformation. They are the transformation. Most people avoid pressure. They avoid discomfort. They try to change their lives while staying in their comfort zone. And then they wonder why nothing changes. You cannot become someone you have never been by doing things you have always done. You have to put yourself in situations that demand more from you than you currently have. That is how you grow. Phase 6, the isolation period. I need you to understand something crucial. While you are transforming, you are going to have to be okay with being alone. Not forever, but for now. Because the people around you are used to the old version of you. They are comfortable with that person. When you start changing, when you start becoming someone different, it is going to make them uncomfortable. Some people will try to pull you back. They will tell you that you are changing, and they will say it like it is a bad thing. They will remind you of who you used to be. They will question why you are being so serious, so intense, so different. This is not because they are bad people. This is because your transformation holds up a mirror to their lack of transformation. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. You need to be willing to distance yourself from anyone and anything that pulls you back toward your old identity. This includes friends who do not support your growth. This includes environments that trigger your old behaviors. This includes habits and routines that keep you stuck. You are going to have to be ruthless about protecting your transformation. Use this isolation period to go deep, train harder, study more, build more. Become so focused on your transformation that everything else becomes background noise. This is not about being antisocial. This is about being so committed to becoming someone different that you are willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for permanent change. Phase 7, the evidence journal. Every single day you are going to write down 3 pieces of evidence that prove you are becoming your new identity. Not goals, not wishes, evidence. Things you actually did that day that your old self would not have done. This journal becomes your proof. On days when you doubt yourself, when you feel like you are not making progress, when you want to quit, you open this journal and you see pages and pages of evidence. You see the compound effect of daily action. You see proof that you are no longer who you used to be. The evidence journal also serves another purpose. It trains your brain to look for wins instead of failures. Most people focus on what they did not do, what they missed, where they fell short. The evidence journal forces you to focus on proof of progress. It rewires your identity at a neurological level. Write in it every single night before bed. 3 pieces of evidence, no exceptions. Even on your worst days, you can find 3 things you did that moved you forward. This practice alone will transform how you see yourself. Phase 8, the 90-day metamorphosis. Here is the timeline. 72 hours to prove you are serious. 30 days to build momentum. 90 days to completely transform your identity. In 90 days of consistent action, of daily proof, of relentless commitment to your new identity, you will be unrecognizable. Not just physically, although that will change too, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the way you see yourself, the way you talk to yourself, the way you move through the world. In 90 days, you will look back at who you are right now and you will not even recognize that person. But here is the requirement. Those 90 days have to be non-negotiable. You cannot have cheat days. You cannot have days where you slack off. You cannot have weeks where you get comfortable. 90 days of relentless, consistent, unwavering commitment to becoming someone different. 90 days where you do not negotiate with yourself. 90 days where you prove every single day through action that you are no longer who you used to be. What happens in 90 days? Your new identity becomes your default. The actions that used to require willpower become automatic. The person you were trying to become, you just are him now. It is no longer effort. It is just who you are. Phase 9, the crucible moments. At some point during your transformation, you are going to face what I call crucible moments. These are moments where everything falls apart, where you face massive setbacks, where you get injured or sick or face rejection or experience failure. These moments will test whether your transformation is real or whether it is just temporary motivation. The crucible moments are not obstacles. They are the final exam. They are life testing to see if you have really changed or if you are still the same person wearing a different mask. How you respond to these moments determines everything. Your old self would have used these moments as excuses to quit. Your old self would have said, "See, I knew it would not work. I knew I could not do it." Your old self would have taken the setback as proof that change is impossible. Your new self? Your new self uses crucible moments as fuel. When you get knocked down, you study why. You adapt. You get better. You refuse to let circumstances determine your identity. You prove through your response to adversity that you are no longer the person. So here's what happens next. You have a choice to make right now. You can close this video, feel temporarily inspired, and then go back to being exactly who you were before you clicked play. You can let this become another piece of content you consumed, felt good about for a moment, and then forgot. You can keep being the person who watches other people transform while you stay stuck. Or you can decide right now that this is the moment everything changes, not because of this video, but because you finally got tired of being someone you do not respect. You finally got tired of wasting your potential. You finally got tired of being comfortable with mediocrity. Here is your 72-hour challenge. I do not care if you subscribe to this channel. I do not care if you like this video. I care if you actually do something. In the next 72 hours, I want you to do 3 things that your old self would never do. 3 actions that prove you are becoming someone different. Write them down right now, commit to them, and then execute them without negotiation. Wake up at 5 in the morning for 3 days. Train for 3 days straight. Work on your goals for 2 hours a day for 3 days. Read for an hour a day for 3 days. Whatever it is, make it hard. Make it uncomfortable. Make it proof that you are serious. And when you complete those 72 hours, leave a comment on this video. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you proved to yourself. Because that comment will not just be you telling me. It will be you making a public declaration that you are no longer the person you used to be. This is not about becoming perfect. This is about becoming consistent. This is not about never failing. This is about never quitting. This is not about being better than other people. This is about being better than the person you were yesterday. 1 year from now, you are going to be somewhere. The only question is where. You can be exactly where you are right now, still making the same excuses, still talking about change instead of embodying it. Or you can be transformed. You can be unrecognizable. You can be him, the person you see when you imagine the best version of yourself. The decision is yours. The moment is now. Stop watching other people become great. Become great yourself. Stop waiting for permission, for the right moment, for perfect circumstances. Start now. Start messy. Start scared. But start. Become him. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Starting right now. Go.